1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sound check. I googled and it said that the sunrise in our area is going to be at 8:40. Right now it's 7:40, but I kind of feel the sky is lighting up already. So maybe I should leave right now. I don't know. Well, another thing that's actually keeping me from moving out, from going out right now, is that the only store that I have on my way opens at 8, and I do need to get some breakfast, or otherwise I will not reach the destination point. Good morning. I don't know if you can hear the birds, but they do their pretty chirping. So I'm gonna go up the hill to meet the sunrise, to look at the sun rising from the mountains. And it's going to be my new year. That's how I decided it's gonna be. So this year I was, so this December 31st, January 1st, I was back with my USA family. And it just didn't feel like the year ended for me. I knew it would end for me in my head, mentally and emotionally, once I come back home. And it's been 5 days since I'm back, 6, 5. And that's when I just randomly feel that it's the end of the year for me. I am waiting for this store to open. It should in like 1 minute. So, and while I'm on my walk, I want to reflect on the year 2024, because I feel like I want to and need to, and that's what I'm going to talk about in my video. I kind of tried to balance out my outfit for it to be warm enough, but at the same not too hot, because I'm going to go up the hill and I'm going to get very hot when I go. But I forgot about my hands, so my hands are freezing right now. So they didn't have water, so kind of yogurt and a croissant is what I got. And also I remember one year when I was 14 that didn't feel like the 1st of January was a new year, because it was the year when my little sister was born, and she was born on January 5th at night. So actually that's when I knew the new year started. It was one of the happiest New Years of my life. I think in terms of New Year's, it was the happiest. Yeah, not one of them. Because you were born, my little sister. Let me show you something. I just met my wonderful friend, Serежа, which I'm going to take as a beautiful sign that I'm on the right path. Okay, and I am. Here is the entrance to the hill. That's where we're going. My hands are still freezing like crazy. Oh, I didn't think about that. Of course I met dogs on my way. Hi. Hi. 3 tails. My big sister says that I'm a pet whisperer. I don't mind it at all. I have 4 now. Okay, I'm like 2/3 of the way through. it's hard for me to film while I'm walking. Yeah, I'll focus on filming once I'm up where I intend to be. Wow. I'm very glad I have my dog friends with me. But actually, this is the only one I know. His name is Graf. Well, we call him Graf. And I think I've seen this one before. But those two are unfamiliar to me. But I'm so glad I have their company. Yay! The hardest part is over. I have only like 3 minutes left to walk through the forest. Just follow the dogs. Graf, let's go! I made it! Yes, I did. Okay, perfect. Looks like I'm just on time for the pretty part. Oh, yay! Look at that. Just the right time. Oh, I'm so happy. The sun is just at the tips of the mountains. And I'm gonna see it coming all the way down to the city. And also, do you see the moon? Oh my god, that is so pretty. Oh, it's perfect. God, thank you so much. Thank you so much for how beautiful it is. And it was the full moon tonight. So also another good moment to finish 2024 and start 2025. Okay, so that's what I wanted to do, to make a video looking at the sunrise. I am looking at the sunrise, so you're looking at the forest. I'm sorry, but I will include the beautiful footage of the sunrise in here too. I have my copybook with me, where fuck. Maybe that's what I should start with. I have 2 things with me besides the copybook. I have a message from my beautiful, beautiful big sister. Sydney, I'm gonna frame it and put it on my shelf or on my wall. Thank you so much. She wrote it when I came back home from the last night I had in Williamsport. So it was morning, and I was packing for New York to leave, and I was telling her how I am and everything what happened. And I said, fuck. And she was so surprised and happy that I said it, because we're kind of we're very cheerful. She especially. Okay, everything I tell about myself, she's like 10 times better and more, and has a bigger heart and has so much love. I just love you, Sydney. I love you. But we are very positive creatures that always are like, yes, everything will be fine. Life is so beautiful. But sometimes it freaking hurts so much then that there is no strength to be, and no need even to be positive, and everything is great. Sometimes you just need to say fuck. So that's what she did. She wrote the note for me. Thank you, sister. And another thing I have with me here is actually something I bought in Moscow. Well, it's in Russian. It is something I bought in Moscow in January of 2024, when I just went there. I think it was like my second day. And I bought a ring that says "Be Yourself," which I left for Asta and Sydney and Holly for the swap party. And I bought this. And this here says, there is no other life, or another life is not gonna happen. Meaning that you can't put off things for another life. Because even if other lives exist, which I kind of believe in, well, not kind of, I do believe in. I do believe in different lives for one soul. And although they exist, you do not know, you cannot rely on it. And you do not know what kind of lives you're going to have. Maybe it's the last one with these souls. Maybe these souls are going to move on and never be reborn on earth again. Maybe these souls, maybe you are not going to be reborn on earth again. Maybe you're going to become a bird or a dog. I believe I was a dog in a previous life. I was such a good dog. But anyway, there is no another life. And you cannot count on it and rely on it, that you'll have more time. I guess kind of funny how this is something I just bought in January of 2024, not really thinking about it. I just loved the wording. I didn't think a lot about it. I just liked it. And I was like, oh, that's for me. And by the end of 2024, I fucking fully realized what it means. Okay. What I did here in my copybook is I wrote all the important events which happened month by month. I've been doing this for about 5 years now. I thought I would share it, but I am feeling so emotionally unstable right now and so scared to read it all out loud. But I do want to make a video summing up 2024 anyways. And that's my 2024, the way it is. So like there is no a way around, just putting off for another time, another day. It's not gonna get any more beautiful than this for filming. It's not gonna be easier on another day just because it's another day. Let's just try. So in January 2024, I made a video about my USA story and edited it. I didn't post it in January, but I did make it and edit it on the same day. And in this video and in my life, I stated that I have only one goal for 2024. It's the most important goal I've had in many years. And it is to go back to the USA, to my American family, to hug them and tell them that I remember them every single day of the 16 years that had passed since I left. Every single day. I remembered you and loved you. I just couldn't communicate it to you, for which I still am very sorry. But I can now. Now I know that I don't have to stop communicating with them just because I feel hurt that I'm not physically with them. I still can call them and send them pictures and videos and just tell them I love them every day in different ways. Then I got like an invitation for promotion. It was kind of strange because I did get a promotion and my responsibilities became, I got more responsibilities, but I never got more money. We talked about me getting more more money after some time, but it was never specific. And well, now I know better. Now I know how to behave in those situations. And if you have a promotion, which means that you're going to do something more and extra and more responsible, more difficult, you talk about the money and all the other circumstances of this promotion right at the point of it. Then I went to Russia. I spent a week in Moscow, and then I went to my hometown, to Astrakhan, where I had a difficult task and a lot of difficult conversations. I was selling my grandmother's apartment, which was left in my name. My grandmother died 2.5 years ago. And after a year and a half of grieving, I was finally able to do something about it. So I had a few hard talks with my mom and with my uncle, who had different opinions on what I should do with my life in general, but with the apartment as well. I enjoyed being in my grandma's apartment very much. I slept on her bed, and I could go through her things and touch her clothes and remember her and talk to her in my head, kind of like when I talk to God, but I talked to her spirit. It was beautiful. It also says I played Baldur's Gate because I did. It was kind of a distraction for me to. Yeah, it was a distraction while I was preparing for the trip to Russia because I was very nervous about it. February. Yeah, that is kind of shameful to admit, but that's the truth. So my uncle, he physically kind of fought for the documents for the apartment, took it away from me physically, and ripped it apart so that I'm not able to sell it. But I was able anyway, it didn't matter. I didn't know at that point. I thought, that's it. And then he threatened to burn the apartment, which was very scary for me. I was alone in the apartment at that point. I know he would say he was just very angry and said things he didn't mean. Well, dear man, do not say things you do not mean. Maybe that's the thing. And it was kind of like I went back in my childhood. I did remember some traumatic experiences with men being aggressive. And I kind of understood how I'm blocking aggression from men now in my life. We kind of made peace with my uncle afterwards, but I'd say that the relationship is destroyed right now. I fear him. I do not wish to call him happy birthday or new year. I kind of do not want him in my life. Although I can say that I don't hate him. If he ever needs help, and if it's something that I can do, I'll probably help. I don't hate him. I still love him. He was a very good uncle to me when I was a kid. I'm not ready to, especially to be the first person to mend those relationships to a better state. And I feel like he doesn't need that either. He doesn't need our relationship to be in some better state. Here I was turning the page and thinking like, okay, now it's going to be something nice. It is nice. It is nice though. It's just also hard. So then I found a flower corsage, which was gifted to me when I was in USA back then. I was very happy to find it. I was very happy to find it at my grandma's apartment. I did ask for a sign at that point, like, "Dear grandma, are you okay with me selling the apartment and using this money to fund my trip?" And it was for me, it was my grandmother saying yes, of course, and giving me her blessing. Thank you so much, grandma. I love you. And I love the flower corsage too. And I'm sorry. I started the whole documentation for getting a new travel passport, which I needed to renew, and for the visa. It was very hard to fill in the form for the visa. It took me like question by question. I did one question a day, I think, something like that, because it was emotionally and mentally difficult. It was hard for me to be in my grandma's apartment, grieving for her, preparing to do and doing the difficult thing, collecting the documents and doing stuff for USA visit, dealing with the whole bureaucracy thing, which is about documents, and having my mom and my uncle both being kind of against me in everything I do. It was hard. But I did take care of myself. That's what I noted. I would do face masks, drink vitamins, do affirmations every day, every morning, journal, and light a special candle that I had. It was the hardest month of 2024, February, and I made it through, and I'm very proud of myself. I also saw my dad, which I was so happy about, because he lives in my hometown still. We spent a lot of time together, and I loved it. I love you, Dad. March was when I actually found someone to buy the apartment. And then, well, long story short, my uncle bought the apartment from me in the end. But to do that, I needed to find somebody who really wanted to buy the apartment. Long story. I came to the point where I was selling the apartment. That's the win. I paid for all the taxes that I had. Also, long story, but I did have some taxes unpaid and some legal stuff holding me from getting my new traveling passport. And if I don't get my traveling passport, so if I don't settle the taxes and the legal stuff, I will not get the passport. If I don't get the passport, I will not be able to get visa. So if I don't get visa, I do not go to the USA. In March, I went to St. Petersburg, where most of my colleagues are, and the working office was at that time. I spent 2 weeks there, and I saw my dear friends, Yegor and Syoma and Katya. Oh my God, guys, I love you so, so much. I'm so happy I got to meet you this year. Love you to the moon and back. Yeah, so I spent 2 weeks in St. Petersburg. That's where I rediscovered, I even wanted to straighten my back. That's where I rediscovered that I'm pretty. um, I just enjoyed that time so much. I worked a lot, and on the weekends I just walked the city, and I don't know, I was trying new makeup things, and I was dressing up, and I really rediscovered that I look pretty. I I was up to that point, I was kind of, even still from 2023, I was kind of in a difficult mental space. And everything was so hard, and everything was so, like, I had to, I don't know what's the expression, bite the ground to get to the points I want to be at. So I was exhausted. And the spring started, and it was St. Petersburg, which is a very romantic city. And I was like, wow, I'm beautiful. I loved it. I worked like crazy. My department grew in March. I had 15. I went back to Moscow, spent time with my sister and my mom. I walked and visited my favorite places. It was very fun. Yeah. And then I had a huge falling out with my husband, the biggest ever. I'm not gonna go into the detail about it. It just was, I think it was the hardest point of our relationship so far. Yeah. And it happened like a few days before my return flight from Russia to Armenia, which was like, fuck. Again, I was questioning our relationship at that point, but I do want to work on it always. I always do want to work on it till I can. Because that's the deal. That's when we get married, that that that's the deal. We lived in separate rooms for more than a month and did a lot of talking. It was hard. I saw my dear friend Oля. I was so happy to see you, my dear Oля. You're amazing. I love you. In March, I got back to Armenia, like the last days of March or something. I got back to Armenia. April, we still had our falling out with my husband. We were still figuring it out, doing a lot of talking. It was difficult. It felt like the whole house we built just crashed. And I mean, like a metaphor house. The base was still there, which was probably the thing that allowed me to go on. That I felt like the base was still there. I continued to work like crazy. I had I had to fire 2 people actually, and it was difficult for the team and for me, and I was working on some tasks, hard tasks at work. I mean, some goals and metrics I had to reach, and I wasn't really good at it. Yep, have to admit it. I wasn't good at it. May. Jack got sick. Everything is okay, but it was nasty. I started reading an amazing an amazing book, an autobiography by Marina Abramovic. She's so awesome. I loved the book, and actually, when I was reading it, it reminded me of my mama Holly. I ordered this book for her, and she's going to get it in a few days. I think she will love it too, because it was just like, I don't know, it's the type of woman she would admire, I know, and it's also the type of woman she is herself. And when I was reading about Marina Abramovic and I was admiring her, I was admiring my mama Holly as well. Colored my hair red. Oh, we got presents from our friends from Nizhny Novgorod. At that point, by the end of March, we did heal the relationship with my husband. We worked hard on it and we managed. And I'm proud of both of us for that. And on May 31st, I left for Russia again. I paid for for a people management skill program, which I thought would help me with struggles at my job, but I got fired 2nd or 3rd June. So that was unpleasant. when I got fired, I actually bought myself a bouquet of flowers. Peonies, my favorite. And I went to a gong meditation. To my favorite ever, there is a beautiful place in Moscow. Beautiful. If you are into like yoga, spiritual meditation, that kind of stuff, and you're in Moscow, please go there. It's amazing. It's called Pheromon. It's a women's center for different kind of spiritual mind and body practices. I love it so much. So I went there, and after that, I went to bought myself flowers and took myself to a restaurant, had a glass of some tasty, of some nice cocktail with some fancy dinner, and I was like, okay, I'm fired. I love myself anyway. Proud of myself for that too. I saw Oля again, even 2 times. I even was able to take her to Pheromon. We went to a woman's sexual energy practice, which was amazing. And we met, I think, 2 more times, which is like a luxury because we live in different countries now. I also got hired. I was able to sell myself as a specialist, as an expert in marketing research. And I got hired to host a seminar on that topic. Got hired, I held it, got the money. It was amazing. I figured out all my taxes and legal stuff. I got the new passport. I finalized the whole documents process for selling the apartment. And my mom started a fight with me. I think because she's not good at saying goodbye, and it's hard for her to handle these feelings, and that's what she does. I'm very sad that it's like that, but it's like that. I'm not saying I'm a saint and I'm the best daughter ever. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. It's just in this particular situation, I see it this way. My perspective is that she just picked a fight on me, just randomly in some strange thing. So that when we say goodbye and I leave for Armenia, for how long knows? Like for, I don't know when I will come back to Russia. So she wouldn't even say goodbye to me and hug me. Some other practices that I went to. I went to a practice of letting go your ex. I'm laughing so hard because yeah, because I did let go that one. I did, finally. I was hurt a lot. I was just hurt a lot by him. Although many, many years have passed. But I still had some pain and guilt, I guess, and anger left in me about that. About some small things about our relationship and our breaking up. And I let that go. Then I had Leela, which is an Indian game. I played Leela. I went to the Sadhu nails practice for the second time in my life. I did first like 3 years ago or so. And I went to the same teacher, master. And it was amazing. I'm so grateful to him. He's awesome. If you ever need a recommendation of a Sadhu nails master in Moscow, ask me. I'll tell you. I loved the whole summer in Moscow. I was walking the city. I was just enjoying and loving Moscow. I did buy and eat everything I missed, like used all the services I missed, all the deliveries, all the foods. It was fun. And I said goodbye to Russia for I don't know how long, but felt like for a long time, because I don't have any reason to come back now. I have everything. Nothing holds me back in Russia now. And I went to Nizhny Novgorod to see my friends, which was awesome. I spent with them, I guess, only like one day. I think I came in the morning and left it the same day at night. But it was so amazing to see you guys. I love you so much. Okay, I'm gonna go home now and film the rest from there. Because I feel like I watched the sunrise. I spent enough time here by myself and talking and thinking. And I'm kind of cold too, so time to go home. And I need to not fall asleep until the very, very late evening tonight, because that is how I'm going to break this cycle of me sleeping through the whole day and waking up at like 5 p.m. because I'm still jet-lagged from the trip. Oh, and the doggies are following me, of course. Are you going with me? Are you coming with me, beautiful? Let's go, guys.